Welcome to the Coliving with PadSplit Podcast, where we talk to successful PadSplit investors and have them share their secrets to success, not only in PadSplit, but in other facets of real estate. This podcast will help you expedite your learning to be a successful investor in the co-living space. We are your hosts, Ray and Orianna Nunez. Show us some love by subscribing and sharing so we can continue to bring on amazing guests. In today's podcast, we will be having our special guest, Bernardo Mazzucco, today with us, and we will be discussing all things PadSplit, how he got started into PadSplit, what is his ideal into getting into the right mindset when you are a real estate investor. And additionally, we will also be discussing
Bernardo's buy boxes, what his potential PadSplit should look like, different strategies on PadSplit, and also some of his goals for the near future and far future.
The importance of giving back to others and how this has been a key success to his business. So tune in, make sure you watch our first episode and hit subscribe.
Here, actually.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you here.
Appreciate it. I will do my best to make it work.
Let's do it. Let's add some value to everybody today.
For sure. And so this, I do want to say, is our first episode. And as promised, we did say we wanted to bring you on as our very first guest.
Yeah, I was claiming for it, but I truly appreciate it in a way.
We haven't even pulled the sticker off of that Roadcaster yet. So
beautiful. So yeah, I love to be a black swan and the first one testing new things. So.
We'll bring you back also.
Yeah, I hope so.
We want an update on how obviously you expand, because you obviously have one now.
Let's start from the beginning.
Beginning? What's the beginning? What does this PadSplit journey
how
look like?
How did you hear about PadSplit?
Well, as you know, I'm part of the franchise, Homebesters of America, and PadSplit is a preferred vendor of Homebesters. So them in the corporate level provide us different great exit strategies, options, and vendors, and just pops up. I think I meet Ray there once, or was a franchisee that mentioned about it, but definitely wasn't a convention or something. So your marketing is paying off.
Thank you.
Was that New Orleans?
I would say no. It was in New Orleans. It was in Phoenix.
Phoenix? That was probably Joel that you met. Joel. But
you were in Phoenix?
No. I mean, I did go to the Phoenix convention, but I know a lot of people heard about PadSplit within that organization in the two prior events.
No. In Phoenix, we already are friends.
Yeah.
You and I.
Yeah.
Not her still. But no, to be honest, it was in New Orleans. You are 100% accurate. The thing is that after that, we have a large, big player franchisee that bring you guys to our ad council meeting in January 2020.
I was there.
You were there. We, drink a coffee later, and then everything started. It's a great rapport at the very beginning. And so
that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, we are good friends.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And then I don't remember. And then you have these social events that you always do. It was one of the first mixing that you are creating, and I was there. But I always trying to find the way to add value for people. So I bring a lot of realtors, newbies and stuff, 6, 7 people for the team. So I was working on. Actually, I get a couple referrals for that team leader. Mm-hmm. And then I become in PadSplit family.
Yes, you are part of it. And how did you acquire your first one? Because I know that you're constantly looking at deals, right? You're always analyzing a property, and you're always looking for what's the best exit strategy for that specific property that you're about to acquire.
Sure.
So when was the turning point where you were like, okay, this is going to be my first PadSplit? It's perfect.
That's a great question. The rental portfolio is pops up 17 years ago, actually. Because in my country, as you know, I'm not from here.
Where are you from?
I'm from Venezuela. So I used to do this.
Latinos in the house.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's part of the report here, right? So I was doing that in my country. I used to be a small business owner selling construction materials. So being in the process, I met a lot of engineers and people related, and my dad is in civil engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in that world from I was born maybe. So, long story short, I got a few rentals there still, like 9 so far, and I used to have a portfolio that 15 there back in 2017.
Long-term rentals.
Yeah, commercial, because their regulations for residential are different.
Got it.
So different laws and all that kind of stuff. This is a really hostile environment. So you prefer work with businesses instead that persons. But I would say that I always want to go to the residential real estate. So I came here with that idea, but I couldn't afford that at the very beginning. So I start with different multiple things, and I start doing the main exit strategies like wholesaling. Wholesaling for us in our network is different than wholesaling out there. For us, wholesaling is close on the property. You get it, you find it, you bought it, you close on it, clean it up, and put it in the market. That's a wholesale definition in our world. It's not like assignment contracts.
Here, that's wholesale. Kind of, where you're buying something at a discounted rate, you fix it up a little bit, and then you stick it on the market.
That's the next step. We start with assignments. If I get some property, which is interested, is a great property, but I don't want or can't close in that particular time, so I don't want to deal with the distance or whatever, I assign it to another investor that I know. I don't assign anything out of our network because I don't really trust in what we have in the market out there. But I have a decent network with people that I know that they perform. I know what they want, so it's my first strategy. The second one is wholesale, which what we call wholesale. That is close on it, clean it up, and put it in the market. The third is the wholetailing, of course, and for sure is my favorite because you do some minimum work, you put it livable and financeable, and just go to the market. Sometimes for people that cannot afford like a full rehab one, or mostly of the time for investor for rentals or that kind of stuff. So the audience out there is huge. Then we do retail too. I used to do a lot of retails because I like the design and all that kind of stuff, but there is not space to be romantic in this business. So it takes the cycle takes a lot. And then of course, once you get that fill out, you have the rentals in front of you or building your portfolio. So when I was trying to build my portfolio, I was looking for build a long-term rental portfolio. Airbnb is kind of a lot of work. So, but the returns are not appealing for me. Never. I say, well, it's good. You can play with the equity at some point. You can do package deals, but $300, $500 a month, it would take years. So in my accounts, my numbers represent that I would need around, I would say, I forget that because my numbers now is in PadSplit units, it's not in houses.
That's how you're fully converted when all you think is PadSplit.
No,
it's hard.
Your brain is wired differently now.
Let me show you something. I go out every single day from my house with this.
I love that.
I mean, it's my kids have one, all of them, and they play and this is my.
Love that. That's from Dallas.
So,
We need to get some more of
so.
those.
I mean, I'm full. I'm engaged with the family, and because let me tell you what, because it can reduce the time of your building your portfolio like 3-4x if you do and perform the strategy accordingly. So that's why when I saw that, and going back to New Orleans and going back when the first time that they were in our ad council meeting or our meeting in HBA, we cannot just talk a lot of details about our franchise because, as you know, we have limited limitations and non-disclosure stuff. But anyway, when you were there, I realized that that's my path. I engaged immediately. It took a year to go there. When I found the real property that actually wasn't adding value situation, adding square footage, I saw it. have you seen The Beautiful Mind, the movie?
Yeah.
So I felt like Joe Nash that day, and I was in the rooms that, you know what?
Everything's just like fitting differently. I
And the
know.
beautiful thing of that is I still use my architect in Venezuela, the guy who used to design all my projects there.
Oh, awesome.
And he's so great in details, but especially in layout. So I immediately just pull it out. I mean, I just draw it on hands and send it to him, and he designed the perfect layout. So I got the plans, I got the renders, and now you walk that property and you see exactly the same. So it's my baby.
So
to
if
be
you're
honest.
listening to this, you already know we have an architect you can work with.
But I have a question.
Bernardo's like, I'm not sharing him.
When it,
No, of course,
I'm
yeah.
kidding, I'm
No, of
kidding.
course. Yeah.
at a cost. No, I'm kidding. When it
Uh,
comes to designing the PadSplit rooms,
Yeah.
just quickly, now you can walk into a room and see it without needing an engineer, right? Like, it's not that complicated.
It is not. It's just that what I was trying to do in that particular case is, I mean, there's, in my opinion, two strategies here with the co-living spaces. There's like the cash cow approach
Okay.
when you don't care and you don't, I mean, it doesn't matter for you what is the worth of the house. You're just looking for cash flow. I have a property that I'm going to convert this year. In that situation, it's pretty straightforward, simple. You need money, you put the walls, that's it. In that particular case, in my first one, I'm trying to combine the appreciation approach with the house in a decent neighborhood, just really appealing for a single family home. It potentially get a lot of appreciation with the time.
Right.
So I was trying to use an architect just because I would like to design it exactly the same for a single family rental, and not,
I understand.
Yeah,
Not
put it
PadSplit.
Change
and the
the
PadSplit
core.
too.
Change the core of what the house is, basically. You're not trying to change the identity of the house too much, but still make it functional for a PadSplit and co-living.
100%. Actually, we create a beautiful family space, and we expand the house, the light and everything. And in that process, we make it a better single family home, easy to sell, easy to imagine somebody to live there,
Right.
but at the same time having exactly the same the amount of space that you need for a PadSplit, and the right space for make the splits and stuff. So that was you was using it. Of course, my second one, well, it becomes in my first active, to be honest, is already built that way. I just put the doors.
Yep.
Right.
Because so it's different cases. In this particular one, that was my approach. That was the first one, and but all the way down, I always ask you about it. I always ask about other people. The community is fantastic. It's people engaged with this. It's a kind of gray area in different aspect of the business,
Yeah.
but I'm in love. You were surprised with my PadSplit
That's awesome.
thing, right?
That's a good omen.
I was.
Mhm.
I don't have one. I
Well,
didn't keep one.
Yeah, we need to make one.
But I do
Sure.
keep a PadSplit notebook, though.
It's not the
it's
same.
not the same.
It's not, it is.
It's not.
This too personal.
That is the lucky charm.
Yeah.
It is a
That
lucky
really
charm.
is a lucky charm.
So you were saying that the one approach is cash cow, maximizing the space in the house to make as many rooms as possible. And then the other strategy would be what? What?
Combine the single family is pretty steady and good looking or appealing single family home, convert it into a PadSplit, but no losing the quality or the layout of the house itself. So you can take it down if you need to and convert it in a regular rental. So you have to get multiple exit strategies every time you get into it.
Right.
One of these. So that's a point. So get appreciation as a single family home while you are getting multifamily returns, but you can go back to any of those because we don't know. I think that we can sell it as a single family at some point, but I honestly think that this is the future of the housing in America. I mean, I firmly believe that this affordability issue that we have across the country, it's something that the government cannot afford or address accordingly in the time that is needed.
They've known about the crisis. They just haven't been able to do anything fast enough. And the solutions cost too much money.
Absolutely. And
too much time.
Time, money, and agreements. Because
a lot of politics.
Yeah. So the thing is that we are providing a solution, a real one.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I really engage with this. I mean, it's not about, I love you guys, as you know, and the model and everything, but I embrace PadSplit as my opportunity to give something back, to add some value to this society and do what I do best, which is take fully advantage of that, but helping first and receiving later.
Right. Yep.
You know, so there is hard workers, workforce in the area that really need this. So.
Right. It's truly doing good and feeling good about what we're doing.
And of course, you live in America. You have to make money.
Yep.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. So it is a win-win for sure. So that's the approach. But I firmly, going back to the idea, I firmly believe that at some point, maybe 5-10 years, you can appraise your portfolio based on commercial income, exactly the same, cap rate or whatever you want to call it, instead that as a single family home. Right. So there's people gambling to that because when the hedge funds, by the time that the hedge funds were or willing to pay us that type of asset, and let's be honest, the economy is always looking to package deals and create more money, and you know how it works. So at that point, you can also have that option. So you have to be open to have multiple options with the same asset. That's my approach.
I agree 100%. And as you were saying, I don't think that there's a solution that can immediately look to attack this type of problem, affordability, because the houses that there are building in communities are for families. There's people trying to convert commercial space into dwellings. So like the mall in East Orlando, the Fashion Square Mall, they talked about making affordable housing within that mall. In downtown Orlando, they're doing room rental, co-living apartment complexes. It's being built, it's being done, but it's too expensive to really do this across the board in many of these cities. And so I see PadSplit doing the room rentals being a faster solution to today's problem, where we are giving people rooms or the ability to rent a room at $700, $600, all the way up to $1,200, as opposed to finding a studio apartment at $1,900 and having to provide 3 times the income. So, and obviously we make money as investors on the other side, because we need to make money to continue to push this along and to go ahead and buy more properties. So it serves two sides. I think it's a beautiful thing.
And I do feel like each one of us probably knows somebody or is familiar with somebody that can benefit from staying out of PadSplit.
100%.
Like, I'm pretty sure somebody in our families or a friend of a friend, we know that could benefit from staying out of PadSplit.
Your construction team.
Correct.
Depending on what you do. I have,
Correct.
Let me tell you this.
So
my
it's
project,
like really reachable for us to apply this.
for everybody.
Yeah.
We are human beings.
Yeah.
We are a society.
Yeah.
And a society that actually is not, cannot afford now just these, prices out there in hotels and everywhere, because we have inflation and all that kind of stuff. My project manager have been living in my PadSplit in Ocala for 3 months now, because he is taking care about 3 projects that we have in that area.
That's right.
As flips. So you can use it, and then I can rent it. I have stayed there at night because I don't know if you know, probably you're familiar. I run RC cars.
Yeah.
So I go around the state, some competitions and stuff. So when I go
know.
to
You need to
Ocala,
invite us to the next one.
I know, bro.
you want to go?
I'd go 100%. If you're playing Red Hot Chili Peppers while you're doing that,
Okay.
I'll be there.
Well, okay, I will keep it in mind. But you have to bring your wife. You
maybe.
cannot be alone.
I'll bring the doodle.
Come on.
You
Come on.
made it too big now. It's a whole
No,
thing. now.
yeah. Just go back to the point. But yeah, again, as you said, we know somebody that can need it, and I don't know is the time or the way to do it, but a little bit of my background. When I came here, I have my few savings prepared for this project in my life. But I also have to sell some properties, rentals there in order to have the money to invest here.
That's right.
So in the meantime, I have to do something. I mean, I cannot just spend all my savings living here because
That's right.
it's limited. So long story short, I was trying to find solutions for get some, make my living and keep my family and my standards and that kind of stuff. So I was running, I get a kind of route of distribution with Bimbo Bakeries USA.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what you did basically is just deliver in your truck. You buy the route, you get the LLC, whatever, and then you yourself have to do the job to deliver those small. It's like I don't know what to say.
cakes.
Snacks,
Yeah,
snacks itself. So in gas stations. So I got the area of, let's say, I distribute the area of a 7-Eleven everywhere,
Okay.
that segment. And I saw a lot of hard workers in the communities. This is strong person dealing with drunks, with whatever, every single day since 5 a.m. to whatever in the night. I was a nighttime and they were there. I say, hey, why are you doing here? I'm the manager. It's supposed to be here. So this is workforce. This is local
That's right.
workforce. They don't have cars. Some of them have a bike out there. And once I realized that this project, somebody mentioned something about the gas station or convenience stores in your community. I said, wow, because I saw that hard working people doing that,
Right.
needing a place. So for me, it's engaged with giving something back, to be honest with
Yep.
you. Of course, I'm accelerating my process, building rental portfolio, all that kind of stuff. But the main thing is helping others. And I truly believe that that's what I do with PadSplit. That's why I'm embrace the project and the lucky,
I love it.
whatever you want to call it, or that kind of stuff.
So for people who are looking to get into PadSplit and are looking for properties, what, not necessarily what price point, but what are you looking at for a deal? Because as we know, your success is based off of how you acquire the property. So your profits are made in the acquisition.
Of
And
course.
so what are you looking for? Is it price point? Is it area? Is it a percentage of something? What's your general ideal?
It changed with the time, to be honest, because right now I'm trying to keep going with my flipping business,
Mhm.
wholesale, regardless the exit strategy is just flipping houses. And once when something pops up at a good opportunity, that's when I'm going to buy the next. So let me explain you what a good opportunity for me is. Is a location, as you know, have to be in a safe, clean, decent area, but not necessarily like a high end. I mean, Class A neighborhood is not our target for sure. So we're looking for Class B, Class Z maybe. The price range is in Florida. Should be, in my opinion, anywhere from $100,000. Well, I got one in 34 actually last year, which is my next PadSplit.
What city?
It's Ocala,
Okay.
but it's next to downtown. And
It's a great location.
Oh,
I
it's-
walked this. Yeah, I remember.
the green one, you were there?
Yeah. It's long, right?
Yeah, it's long. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I have been
Next
seeing.
to a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so yeah, we did walk it. We walked it together.
I walked it.
you
Yeah,
know.
I didn't
Ocala.
bail on that one.
No.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I bought it so cheap that actually have been holding it for a year and I haven't touched it. I do the landscape, I trash it out. It looks like a nice. Actually, I put out a couple of what they call that.
Squatters.
Yeah, squatters. Time to time, one was a
Yeah.
homeless. I've been challenging, but long story short, was so cheap that I'm holding on it. But typically, it's like a black swan. So you are looking for anywhere from let's say 100 to 250, sometimes $300,000 house. That is the range. I typically trying to buy it at least 70% of the ARB,
Okay.
minus repairs.
Mhm.
100%. I mean, to be blunt with you, it's 65% my formula minus ARB, minus repair. 65% ARB minus repairs. So in order to you be able to pay the fees and stuff, refi, and get 100%. They call it infinite return in our
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
So you don't have to put any money. You back out your money when you refi, and you have a free asset for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm looking for. There's another opportunities with expensive houses that are already done as a pad split, and you can buy with for more. But it's case by case. But generally speaking, that's a formula that I'm looking for. Neighborhoods, the size should be. It's dependent. This cheap house is 1,000 square feet, but I can fit 6 rooms there. So
It's that layout that's important.
that's why the architect is important. Because in the simple one, you can just see, okay, I close this.
Right.
And those ones, you can take up some walls, make it small rooms. And I would prefer have 6 rooms instead of 5 or 4 comfortable rooms, just because I'm solving a problem. There's a lot of business around there. There's a lot of people walking there. I see bikes outside of the business. It's for employees.
Right.
So, come on, it's a brainless. So it depends. Okay, it's not like a formula itself, because I have expensive one, I have cheap ones.
Yep.
But overall, that would be my sweet spot, let's say.
I
Okay.
love it.
So I'd like to kind of pivot a little bit to talk a little bit about what else you do. And you've mentioned that you do fix and flips. So other than PadSplit, what else do you do in the world of real estate? What projects do you have? If we can expand a little bit on the fix and flip properties, what else you do for the community of real estate?
Yeah, that's for sure. It's something that is important to say for me, because it's what I do every single day. I'm in the business of helping people, and that's what I do every single day. That's why I'm engaged with the PadSplit model, the Coliving model, but also in my daily basis, we address situations. Could be illegal situations, could be repair situations in a house, could be dynamic, broken families and stuff like that. So I'm looking and advertising also for get some people who needs help to solve problems to call me to fix that problem. What had happened, that 100% of the time that problem have to be related with real estate.
Right.
So I come out there just like a consultant, a trusted advisor, trying to help the people to solve that problem. 95% of the time, I'm not the right fit as a real estate investor, and that's it. I know that I'm going to 9 or 10 appointments in a month, or it could be me or my team. I have a buyer in the team also. And we know that, and we are fine, because we're trying to provide a solution that fit best for them or is in their best interest. 80% of the time, going to retail market and calling a trusted realtor is the formula. So we advise the people, you have no reasons to work with us. Another time is multiple, we can refer attorneys, or everybody in our network could be short sales specialists, let's say, that kind of stuff. Sometimes I recommend people, do you have a good Airbnb? Why not doing an Airbnb and just move, or different approach? But the 5% that actually need to sell property and need the help to fix an issue, and the property is the big part of the problem, those are the persons, or those are the people that sell the properties to me. And that's what I do. I don't want to find myself like a real estate investor, to be honest. It's not a fake humbleness, or just, I'm humbly saying that, no, it's in reality, my core business, my values, and mission, vision, and values of my business is helping others. And that's why also I am so engaged with my franchise, because Home Investors of America is exactly the same. So we are aligned. And in the process, of course, if I do my job correctly and I help all those 9 people that are not a fit for me, I get a reward.
Right.
And the reward is buy the piece of real estate in $34,000 in a city and convert it into a PadSplit. And you know what is the funny, and not the funny, I would say that the magical part of this, the people in the closing table sometimes, most of the time, give me a hug and say, you know what, I couldn't fix this without you. I mean, I get the reviews in Google. I get testimonial from people saying that they are just really, engaged and in love with the way we help them. So I'm proud to say that we are in a helping people business. Other than that, we take a piece of real estate of it and we either wholesale it, retail it, convert it into a PadSplit or whatever the exit strategy is. But I would define what I do that way. I don't know if that makes sense for you. Or?
Absolutely. I think that in order for you to be successful, you need to pour into others. That's how you're able to continue to grow your success. If you're so driven by just you, it doesn't flow the same way.
Absolutely. And let me tell you this, a business that only produces money is a poor business.
Mm-hmm.
So I truly believe that's the only way, just helping others and you expecting nothing from them.
Right.
Because you cannot be there helping them. So I'm currently I'm in the leadership of my group of investors here in the area.
Yeah. What's your position at Home Investors?
No, in Home Investor itself, it's like
Okay, in your investor group.
yeah, I mean
Okay.
in my investor group, I'm the ad council president.
Okay.
So it sounds like a fancy word or something, but it's actually a hot potato that nobody wants. I mean, to be blunt with you, that's what it is. I'm the let's say the person making corporate in our group engaged about
Okay.
how much money we invest in advertising. We invest heavily in advertising. I would say I don't know, millions of dollars.
We receive mail from you guys all the time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's good to know. I do too in my
Oh,
house.
you do too.
We expand to high end neighborhoods like Dr. Phillips or Windermere, like the place you are here.
High equity, yeah.
Yeah, so the high equity and the prices and everything like that. But the point is that doing that, I have the opportunity also to bring my group to different initiatives to be better. So let me tell you, last month we were in Habitat for Humanity in a build day, which I truly recommend to you
I
guys.
want to do that.
The feeling is amazing. I mean, you cannot imagine, but probably you know that, but the feeling to helping somebody, the owner, the potential owner was there. They call it beneficiary, the people who you are building a house to.
Okay.
So we went there. I bring all my team in my company. I mean, 5 people just working with me, and I bring a couple franchisees that have the opportunity to go. And we, with our hands, we build all the walls, the perimeter walls of the house in one day.
Wow.
It's like, there's another people there, but we also provide a donation, monetary donation. Basically you are like buying the opportunity to help, but that's exactly that we are trying to do, so give something back to our community. So again, I'm so engaged, and I think that you have to be aligned in what you think, what you said, and what you do in order to be successful. It's critical. It's mandatory. In the masterclass, when I graduated, the guy told us that, and I just embraced that thing. So that's what we are engaged to, and just go with the community and do it. I also want can I say it about this, or
Yeah, of course.
we're out of the time?
We're no.
Okay. So at the very first year as a franchisee here, I was struggling with the language, with the approach, with a lot of things. I was brand new in America. Not brand new, but, in the business.
Well, Bernardo, you've been modest. How long have you been here? And then
6 years.
6 years?
6 years.
I'm
now.
still stuck on 4 when I think of you.
When
Time
we
passes.
met, yeah. When
Yeah.
we met, but yes.
That's
Wow.
still 6 years does nothing.
Sounds
it's,
like
it's
nothing.
it's a lot. but
Sounds
it's
like
also,
nothing, but it's nothing. It's
it's nothing.
absolutely nothing for
Yeah.
sure. So, but remember, I went here with a project in mind. I did a couple investments while I was in Venezuela through a broker. They found, but it was funny. I was talking with Mario, with a friend, just before come here. And they said, well, I saw that once I was working with the broker, because the broker charged me a fee for fund a house from a wholesaler, charged me a fee for rehab the house, and charge me a fee for be the realtor selling the house. So I said, you know what? I should be the broker. I shouldn't be flipping houses from my country. But again, it was a main starting point. So I came here with a project with everything in mind. But anyway, I didn't know what I was doing, even though I had this knowledge from the franchise. So the first year, I almost lost all my money, to be honest. And what I get is the experience and the clarity of just was transparent for me what I have to do, and I did it. And the first step that I get is apply for a contest. They call it the ugliest house of the year.
I remember.
And it was a hard contest because there are big players there. Every people in the company.
So what is the contest about?
Is the ugliest house that you found, the worst conditions, and basically it's the best rehab. But they call it the ugliest because we have a brand that called We Buy Ugly Houses. So that's a point. But the reward there was bring to your local Habitat for Humanity the corporate donation. So I bring to Habitat for Humanity in Osceola and Orlando $20,000 donation. It's a big check. I still have the check. And I made the relationship with the people, and I engage with the people, and I go back the next year and make a monetary donation, a small one, but I keep engaged. And this year that I'm in the leadership, I bring my whole group, my team, and part of my group of investors there, and the people is really happy. They say, "Oh, thank you so much." But anyway, doesn't matter. Of course, there is marketing there. Of course, you have checks, pictures, social media. Because again, let's face it, this is business, right? Mm-hmm. And this is America. You have to pay the bills. Mm-hmm. Yep. But feeling that you are providing a house for somebody that is actually just a dream, the feeling it's unbelievable.
Uncomparable. Yeah, you
cannot buy that with money. There's no way to. But helping a human being making through. I mean, I got the
helping
reward.
because you can. And because you want to, right?
Yeah, it's our responsibility. It's our responsibility. I came from a place where the gap was so huge,
so big.
and that's drive issues. Let me tell you, so I bring my family here. I left everything behind, so I would hate see that in America, because if that happened here, where I should go?
Right.
I mean, Canada. I don't.
Santo Domingo.
Well, yeah, that you are, but I cannot back to my country. I mean, it is destroyed right now, in my opinion, for my standards and values. So I'm trying to add most value here and do something for the community all the time. I'm not, like this philanthropic persons and rich person, but now I get that if you are in a position to help, you must to.
Yep.
I'm trying to teach that to my kids also. So I'm not just trying to look like this philanthropy guy, but it's my core values for sure.
I love that. I do know that, to what you said, there's so much mindset behind success that people don't understand that until you've been through a struggle. For example, your first year was very challenging, right? But it took you to get to that place to understand that you needed to change something for things to change, right? And I am so big into mindset all the time. Something that we discuss constantly in practice, and maybe we don't even practice it enough as much as we would like to, right? But it's almost like the secret ingredient to success. Without it, I feel like the success is temporary and it's not a real success because there's no value there. There's no honesty behind it.
I'm 100% agree. I would add that it's not only about an ingredient. It's not by default. It's by design. It's who you have to be in order to do the things that you have to do to become in what you want to become. So you have to work harder in yourself. I have this conversation this morning with my handyman. I fired him. I said, talk to the project manager, and if he wants to keep you, I'm not against that for that. I mean, but it's your conversation, guys. It's not mine, because I touched out the property 2 days ago. I found a lot of issues. So I talked with the project manager. We get there until 7 to 8 p.m. in Silver Springs. It's not even Ocala. It's like 4 alligators in the back or whatever. And I was doing my job. I mean, I'm not a fancy guy with expensive suits, and so I'm boots on the ground person. And we called the guy and say, hey, we need to touch out the house. There is multiple stuff that you need to address, including a broken window. Can you imagine that? I was about to listen. My cleaning crew was there cleaning the house, and it was a broken window. I say, man, this is not acceptable. So I called and he said, no, don't worry, I will be there tomorrow. And he didn't show up. And I said, and I was explaining to him, but I work hard. Man, that's fine. I don't blame you. But that's not the process that I follow. That are not the values or the type of person that I work with. Right. You can be cleaning toilets, but you have to do it right. If you commit with something, you have to do something. If you said this time, you cannot be 10 minutes later. It's not acceptable because everything is start with the mindset first and then the actions. So you have to visualize who you want to be and work in what you have to do in order to be that. You cannot start, you cannot start to ride or go upstairs from the last step. You have to start from the very, very beginning. So foundational is mindset. 100% sure. There is no way to somebody achieve anything if they don't visualize it, see it first in their mind. It's just, have you read, I think, Think and Grow Rich?
And you're going to say that.
For Napoleon Hill?
It's somewhere in
we
the
have
bookshelf.
it.
Well, I read it in Spanish. I read it in English. I make it. It's part of my brain now. It's a gift that I give to everybody in my team when they come to my company and I say it can change your life or you can take it for granted.
Yeah.
But the mindset is everything. And it's not a secret. It's public now. This guy was paid.
It is public. And I don't think people apply it. It's like it's right there. Everybody talks about it. But like you said, how many people are willing to actually do what it takes to do those things? Not a lot of people. But it's okay. Because that means that there's less competition for people that are choosing to be successful.
100%.
It's so the playing field is easier. Because you're willing to do the work that 80% of the people are not willing to do.
Well, I know that you have big players as investors in PadSplit.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, you this Shark Tank guy is with you, right?
Yeah.
And he said all the time that you always have. I was looking at his podcast in the masterclass a couple days ago, and you have always competition. Don't take it for granted. There is less competition, but the competition there is kicking asses and trying to find a way to copy yourself, to do whatever. So you have to have that seal, that something that differentiate yourself.
That's right.
To other people, and that the people nobody can deny. So you have to be your very best, engage with that, helping people, and everything else will come. Eventually, doesn't matter. Of course, you need to set goals. It's a whole process. It's kind of everybody talking about that in social media, but it's mandatory for sure. It's a given. It's an obligation. It's not optional.
I agree with you.
Damn, this is a very good first episode, by the way, because we went from just talking, obviously, PadSplit to the mindset that it takes to be successful. And it's something that you don't hear quite often unless you're going to a Tony Robbins event or you're paying for a seminar.
Well, I'm glad that you bring that conversation because it pops up organically, to be honest. I'm not sure if you're a woman. Probably you calculated everything before, but.
No, I'm just very driven by mindset. Like you can tell, you can ask Ray, mindset and gratitude. Every night I ask Ray, give me 3 things you're grateful for today. And if he tells me I'm alive, I'm like, no, that is an automatically thing that you have every day. Because if you're not alive today, you're dead, and we're not having this conversation. So I don't want to hear that. So I push him because I'm like, I need to hear things that I want you to think. I want you to be mindful. I need you to think on your day. What was different today that you're grateful for? So it could be something as simple as I was able to spend quality time with my mom. Okay, but you don't do that every day, so that's something you're grateful for today. Or we even discuss on what did you do today that you could have improved? What could you have done better today? Maybe I could have focused less on social media. But bringing that awareness and saying it out loud just makes such a big difference. That self check-in on a daily basis is so important with self and with each other. And I think that's something that keeps us accountable too.
100%. Do you do something in the mornings?
Like a morning ritual?
Yeah. Well, not ritual. Not
Then people call it morning routines, morning rituals.
Yeah, the 5 a.m. 5 morning, 5
Miracle
5
morning.
Yeah, all
Miracle
that
morning.
kind of stuff. It's true.
Yeah.
For me, it's 7, not 5. But but I mean, my brother is so engaged with this. It's just like crazy. You see it. It's like a social media monster, and it's doing well, really well. It's cryptocurrency stuff, but now it's getting in shape and all that kind of. So he was in my house a month ago. No, you have to wake up and say, no. I was get out for the 5 a.m. Club. I'm in the 7:30 a.m. club, but it works. The morning is your mind is have clarity.
Yeah.
So probably you use that before get bed and get some, help to him to encourage to answer you. It's good. That's very good. But I would say that the morning, it's something
I love mornings.
that you should.
For that.
You have a beautiful place here. You can just take a coffee, just get relaxed and visualize a little bit. And the nighttime, you can just backwards see what you want to accomplish and what you did accomplish. And if not, why not?
Right.
But it's beautiful. I love that. And I love that as a couple. I don't want to get in this couple media stuff that you do, but as a couple, you do that. It's pretty impressive. I'm so proud of what you are doing and what you have done so far.
Thank you.
We share a little bit of background as immigrants and Hispanic people.
You know, immigrant.
I was going to say loosely Hispanic, apparently, but I'm 100% Dominican.
You are 100% Latino.
98% Dominican.
No,
I'll give-
I mean, it is a different generation, but you still are Spanish
Yeah,
and
I'm
Latino,
Thai.
and you still are American. So
Thank you.
I
I
understand.
appreciate it.
You're both.
And that's fine because it's not losing your heritage.
Yeah,
It's not losing what you are, but it's adapting here, living where you are living, be in the same culture, be respectful, be a citizen,
That's right.
adding value, adding something to the GDP, paying your taxes.
Right.
That's what has built this country. And I'm so proud to share this time with people that is doing exactly the same. Because as you know, there's multiple people coming in right now that just want expecting, I don't know, get money or be happy or go to Disneyland. This is not about that. It's about, just hard work.
Yeah, you.
And
work.
so you are a great example of that. And I'm so happy to be in your circle and to be here in your
Likewise.
first episode and
Likewise.
share a
Thank you.
story. So, I don't know. It's just
Bernardo,
wonderful.
thank you so much for those words. But I want to ask you, what is next for you? I know you have a lot of things you're working on.
Yeah, sure.
But what is the one thing that has you really excited about in the future in your projects?
Yeah, what's the evolution of Bernardo?
Mm-hmm.
That's such a wonderful question because I have been working on that just recently. I'm shifting a little bit my operations in order to work in the future of building my portfolio, not only rental portfolio. I'm a real estate guy, so I will always include real estate in every entrepreneurship that I would have. But I'm a firmer believer that in America, especially, and as a business owners, we need to have different streams of income.
Right.
So I'm targeting to 8 different businesses in my portfolio in the next 15 years.
So business acquisitions.
Developing, probably.
Okay.
The
Okay.
franchise model, I so engaged in that. So I would prefer just work, even paying fees, work in something that is already proven, that created, but everything is related with real estate. So in operations now, I'm trying to go to wholesaling and wholesaling properties instead of retail, just reducing the time consuming for not only rehabbing, it's dealing with buyers that want you do everything for them. No, I don't like this fridge. Can you paint this? This wall, I don't like that wall, blah, blah, blah. So investing that time in growing the rental portfolio. So the rental portfolio is basically PadSplit right now. So I need to get 100 rooms in the next 3 years. 100 rooms represent what my needed income will be
Got it.
just to cover my expenses. Then I will shift to self-storage. This is my next business for sure. Then I also would like to work with mobile home parks, which is a cash cow.
It is.
Yep.
Okay, so not like a multi, it's just part of my portfolio. And then I have a big project with, it's my big project here is having a whole corner, it's just a big corner with this flexible commercial space. One side, my self-storage in the other one, my office on top with Mazzucco Realty Investment as a name, but also having billboards. That's another business that I want to have. Billboards, because billboards is underestimated business, but it's fully passive income. There's no tenant, there's nobody calling, there's no fights, nothing
You're
there.
right.
And if you can put a couple, a billboard can easily provide you $25,000 to $50,000 a year. I don't know if you know that, but
Oh.
but that's a number.
Do you need to own the real estate
Nope.
land for
It's
developing?
it's the best thing, because if not, you have to pay fees, so it will decrease your net. But that's why I'm looking for get everything there. You know,
Interesting.
those cars. There is a business model for cars that it's like a display, like a vending machine of
Carvana.
car.
Like Carvana.
Carvana. So if you have that lot in the corner and you have the flexible space and you own the self-storage and you rent the storage and you have your business there doing real estate business, but also you have the billboard in one side and you have the Carvana in the other side, you are freaking doing 5 different businesses in one
Multi-use.
piece of land.
Yeah, it's-
Different markets, different concepts.
Right.
So it's like recession proof. So how? It's like splitting the risk, same as PadSplit. So that's my almost very last project, and for sure I'm expecting to lend money, because to be honest with you, this is the best sweet spot. So what I'm doing now, part of my plan is my 40 years plan. I'm in the 25th, but in reality I'm in the 16th. I mean, real time in life, and it's 16 years with this plan. But I'm reducing a lot of the time because I'm working so hard for it.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's clear for you, but the point is that in this stage, I'm building relationships. I'm knowing the business. I'm putting some skin in the game. I'm getting lessons, losing money, winning money, growing, traveling, doing all that kind of stuff. But now I know I got like 3 new private lenders right now. So I can get into a property. That's it, with no money down. I can walk away from the closing table with money in my pocket to rehab that property.
Right.
So I don't have to pay. It's more than 100% finance. It's like 1,000% finance. And I get that because I got these people. They know what I know what
You
I'm
know what you
doing.
do, right.
Yeah. So at some point, I have found some people being, let's say, in my franchise, just to build relationship with these guys, and they then walk away and say, you know what, I can lend you money, and it's a sweet spot, a 12% return with doing nothing, as long as you are working with people, boots on the ground, that they know what to do.
Right.
So lending money business and that this small community bank is my final retirement business. So this is the future
Love it.
of myself.
I love that. Very thought out. He has his plan in mind. I love that.
Yeah, no, I didn't get as far as a plaza commercial space in my head. I can pick pieces where I'm like, similar.
Yeah, we have a similar trajectory, but I love where you're heading to.
What would be yours? Could I ask?
Yeah, of course. So 100 co-living doors for sure is the same goal for us. 100
Oh,
PadSplit doors.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
See, it's a pretty organic. We're friends.
100 doors for us is for sure the goal. Anything more, obviously beautiful, but that's the ideal stage for us to have that passive monthly income that will allow to cover everything, and just everything else is going to be strictly more like passion driven projects. I definitely have been obsessed for years with a car wash. I love car washes. It's something that I've always been passionate about, and we want to
Automatics?
look at that into
I was imagining like girls.
another
And laundromat.
correct more cash flow businesses, but it's more now acquiring businesses.
Okay.
So we're going to be acquiring those type of businesses that are very more simple to manage, but really allows us to have another influx of cash flow. Commercial. We want a couple of plazas where we can run commercial. And I think within there's going to be some passion projects, like, for example, a space that can be driven for content creation. Another space that can be for an event center. Maybe you want to do a conference with some like more passion projects driven.
Development, repurposing
Some buildings. It can be, and again, I just keep thinking of you doing a conference or you doing a retreat, an education piece for the weekend, but there's not a lot of those spaces available unless it's in a hotel or, a wedding.
And to
venue.
corporate, it's like multi-spaces, not focus on.
Exactly. So we want something that's a lot more mixed use and more progressive and more kind of creative concept in a way.
That sounds beautiful. And what about the commercial? When you said 2+, couple plazas, what are you targeting to put there? Any type of business or something specific?
As far as my opinion, I don't think that there was in mind a type of commercial that we were looking to do when it comes to plaza. Mixed use, sure. Not so much retail, probably office space
Or more warehouses as well. Yeah.
Warehouse, that's what I was about to say, because warehouses, I sold my last warehouse in Venezuela. I only have two. I'm a small player. Just driven people, just trying to do my best. But it's a really small place, was. But anyway, the thing is that there were different reasons. It's applied to my business, so I can use it, rent it, or sell it, and actually sell it finally. Mm-hmm. Now, here, the e-commerce is a huge deal. So Amazon and all these big players cannot just fulfill all the needs.
That's right.
Yep. So warehousing is, I used to say warehousing. My son say, "What? That? Why you say that?" But yeah, you know that my English is not the best. I'm still learning. But anyway,
doing great.
The thing is that the warehousing business is easy, it's quick,
that's right.
simple.
That's right.
And you have a reliable stream of customers.
That's right.
Because the growing e-commerce business. Mm-hmm. So it's something that you should put an eye on. And I would say to retail, I still have a small retail plaza. Mm-hmm. Those are the 9 pieces of property that I told you. It's actually one retail plaza, small retail plaza that I still have in Venezuela. And at the there's different, but here I would say that you should target some stuff that the people cannot. You should target not. You should think. From my advice, is not what you should do for sure, but I invite you to look at the concept of things that the people cannot avoid, like the doctor visits. Right. So the doctors, the dentist, dermatology, blah blah blah. The people have to go. Right. There's no way to do it with AI or anything like that. You can do some, it won't die.
That's right.
So put that concept in place and complement all of this is a big deal in order to keep your occupancy and all that kind of stuff. That's I would add, but I think that is a great plan that you have. I love it.
Yeah.
Especially the content.
That's what we have. The what?
The content and these spaces.
I feel like just that mixed use space. We've always wanted something like that because, and again, weddings are cool, but there's so much more to that. And then create like some content creation spaces for so many creators, because now we're all in that space, because in order for us to continue to grow our business, we need to also tackle that. Yeah. It's like another layer that we're all entrepreneurs adding to our belt, because without it, it's so much harder to grow faster.
Yeah. You need investors look at you as a great bet. You need to be exposed.
Yep.
But with the relationship, the level of relationships that you are having now nationwide is a brainless if you don't do this and expand. So
Yep.
I'm so happy for you guys
Thank
as
you.
a friend.
Yeah,
Always.
appreciate it as a friend.
Yeah, sure.
So with that, I'll say, how does someone, who are you looking to do business with? What are you looking for?
What are you looking for? Yeah.
Advertise yourself or your
How
services.
can people add value to you, and how can you add value to others?
I would prefer start how could I add value to others,
Okay.
which is the main thing. So basically, anybody who has any type of issue related with real estate, could be legal, repairs, foundations, whatever is a struggle for them, I would like to support that person. It's organically driven business and different rewards for our company. But to be honest, I always do that with my home investors franchise because we paid a big quantity of money in advertising. So we get those leads often. So my strategy this year is trying to find these business insiders. Let's call it. I have my reserve with wholesalers, to be honest, but it could be wholesalers, the good ones out there, the ones doing the real job, or it could be attorneys, probate attorneys, let's say divorce attorneys, let's say consultants, let's say realtors. Some realtors have high standards to just listing beautiful properties and suddenly come across this crappy house that they don't want to do. They don't want to list because they have a reputation. So I am the guy that they should call. So I'm working and do some affiliates. So marketing as an affiliate in Aura. I'm looking for get this relationship with business insider around real estate, and for sure, as I told you before, raising money is not optional in this business. If you have a business, it is mandatory. It's an obligation. You cannot just give you a hand and say, "Well, I'm good. I get another private money lender." You need to raise money every single day. It's your responsibility. There's no way to grow a business without money. So what I'm trying to get now is more investors, people willing to do business with me. One of the things with PadSplit, what I'm actually just recently just dropped something in social media. I get one people, by the way. I'm trying to grow my PadSplit business faster than do it organically. Just getting that gap partner, put in the portion that I need to pay refi, my fees, and my franchise fees, and that kind of stuff, and the conversion, paying them back in 2 years, and do it 100% free. So I don't have to put any of my money in those projects, so it won't, just get in conflict with my operations. So I'm trying to attract some investor for that. I'm doing some social media stuff. I haven't been able to put it in place. It's kind of hard with the time and the kids and my family situation, but that's what I'm looking for. So I would invite everybody with interest in participating in real estate business that don't have the time or the knowledge and want to start somewhere. Just reach out and we can talk about business.
I love it.
Love it. If you don't call for it, it won't come.
Yeah, that's why you gotta say it out loud. What do you need? What do you need, and what do you do for others?
For sure,
I love it.
There is a lot of money out there, sitting, gaining. Now they gain some decent interest, but this is let's say inflation wise, they are losing money.
Right.
So let me tell you, I got a couple investors, 2 or 3 of them now, driving money from stock market to my business because I'm providing better rates.
That's right.
Of course, have to be people that understand the game in the business. In my country, I haven't raised money in my country, and I have the best relationship there because I was like 13 years business owner there. Society know me. I come from a small city. Should be easy. But the people there want returns in 50%, 100% in 3 months. And say, no, it doesn't work. It's not realistic. Right. So the real people knowing what to do, I prefer. I get doctors, I get retired people, I get people with multiple business wanting to be in real estate but not wanting to deal with all the crap that we deal in the middle because it's hard work. So those are my target. That's people understand what I do it's what I'm looking for.
I love it.
And what's the best way to contact you? Do you have it off the top of your head, or we're gonna link it on the
No,
bottom?
we'll link it.
You can link it. I would recommend to everybody wants to know a little bit about us, about my company and myself. They should reach out my website, because it's kind of a landing page where I put everything, like a community, things that we do, like the prizes, like these podcasts, all that kind of stuff. Is kind of a blog, so you can really feel what I'm doing there, and some projects also I will be putting there. So it's mazzuccorealtyinvestment.com. You can for sure put it there. Mazzucco is like a complicated last name, but it's Mazzucco, Mazzucco. But anyway, you can address it there, and that's the best main of contact, and we can have discussion. By the way, I receive a direct message in social media from Instagram for a lady, is young lady, it's a girl basically, I would say, that came because I was related somehow with you guys in one post, and they said, "Oh, you're an investor. I'm driving for dollars doing that." She was in a real estate seminar and trying to reach out to me. Unfortunately, we cannot meet because I set an appointment with her. She didn't came in, and once I feel that the people is not 100% committed, I'm out. I mean, I don't have time for losing.
I agree.
She came back later, but I don't know. I was not engaged anymore. But it's happened often. So helping people starting in the business that need coach, it's another perfect thing. I have been doing that for a while. So if somebody needs some help, knowing anything else, just for sure, please reach out to me.
I love it. I love it. Bernardo, thank you for coming here. It's a pleasure having you here today.
Absolutely agree. We're absolutely happy to have you as, again, our first host and our first guest on the podcast. You're a good friend of ours. That obviously our relationship is going to continue to grow, but we love to hear about your successes, and we want to bring you back, obviously, to talk about what else you're doing at that moment. So
beautiful. No, I'm the blessing to have you, and it was a pleasure for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for tuning into the Co-Living with PadSplit podcast hosted by Ray and Orianna Nunez. For more exclusive content and community updates, join our Facebook group and follow us on all social media platforms. Stay tuned for more episodes.